should antinatalists celebrate their birthday? So some people might think that if you're an antinatalist and you think that it's wrong to bring new sentient beings into the world, including human beings, that we shouldn't be celebrating birthdays because it's celebrating a birth day. And obviously on a superficial level I can kind of understand that, but I think in the real world it's much more complicated, much more nuanced, and celebrating a birthday is not necessarily celebrating birth. So personally I think it's absolutely fine for antinatalists to celebrate their own birthday, but also go and partake in the celebration of other people's birthdays. When people are celebrating their birthday, I don't think people's minds are really on the fact that like they're celebrating having come into existence. It's more just celebrating the completion of another year of your life. It doesn't have to be framed as this celebration of birth itself, even though it is called a birthday. I get that. It's a bit like how loads of people celebrate Christmas, but they're not necessarily religious or they're not necessarily Christian, but they celebrate it as a cultural institution or maybe even just a commercial one, or it's just an excuse to have generic celebrations with your family. And when people celebrate Christmas in that way, they're not actually celebrating anything that is massively relevant to Christianity. And I think we can do the same with antinatalism and birthdays. You don't have to be celebrating birth when you're celebrating a birthday. And you can even treat it in an extremely light-hearted way as an antinatalist. Like, if there are other people that know you well enough to be engaged in your birthday celebrations and they know you're an antinatalist, you can joke about it. You can make it out as if this is a sorrowful occasion. Maybe if you're going to someone's birthday and they know you're an antinatalist and you're on good enough terms, instead of getting them a birthday card, you could get them a sorry for your loss card. Now, if someone doesn't want to celebrate their birthday, then obviously no one should be forced to celebrate their own birthday. If you're just not a birthday person, then that's fine. Go on your merry way. But I do think there's maybe a reason not to boycott birthdays, including your own and of others, for principled antinatalist reasons. One, because I really don't think that is going to have an impact really at all, and you don't have to, for the reasons that I've said. You can reframe the idea of a birthday and things like this, but also boycotting the celebrating of birthdays, especially when people don't actually generally associate it with the birth itself. It's more just the progression of age and the progression of time. The boycotting of something like a birthday for antinatalist reasons, that's probably going to really alienate people and come off as really weird. And I remember Humane Hancock a while ago had a video on this concept of weirdness points, which I won't go into fully here because I don't think I need to, and I wouldn't be able to explain it as well as him, but I'll link his video in the description. In that instance, you would expend weirdness points and come across as odd when you needn't have to, and you can communicate about antinatalism in much more impactful and serious ways in other contexts, like just bringing up a conversation about antinatalism if it happens to be relevant to something happening around you, or you're just having a sort of ethical discussion with someone and you bring up this topic. But introducing the idea of antinatalism and you being an antinatalist through the boycotting of birthdays, that seems way too hardline to me. I feel like that is the wrong direction to go down. One thing I just thought of is that if, because you're an antinatalist, you feel some sort of discomfort or some sort of weirdness around the celebrating of a birthday, one thing you could do that would kind of put an antinatalist spin on a birthday with, I think, without coming across as weird at all. If people wish to get you gifts, you can ask them, instead of getting you material gifts or experiences, you can suggest a charity like MSI Reproductive Choices or Family Empowerment Media, which heavily aligns with antinatalism, and you can ask people to donate a certain amount or whatever they feel as a token of celebrating your birthday. And I think that is a perfectly reasonable way of putting an antinatalist spin, or at least getting some sort of positive good out of your birthday that aligns with antinatalism. That's just one idea. There may be many other ways that someone can give like a positive spin on birthdays if they're feeling some discomfort with it. Maybe people will disagree with me, like please let me know in the comments below. But I think my basic take on this is that no, antinatalists don't need to boycott birthdays or anything like that. It's fine for you to engage in celebrations of your own birthday, and you can treat it in this lighthearted way and make jokes about it and stuff like that. And I don't think we should be boycotting the birthdays of other people. I think this would be unproductive and it would ostracize antinatalists. But anyway, let me know what you think. Did you disagree with anything I said, my take on birthdays? Let me know your general thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.